My hair and I have been through a lot. Stress shedding, bleach, and damage I thought was beyond repair. But I finally learned that simple, sustainable steps win the marathon. Unlike what you've heard before, your hair is not high maintenance. So in this video, as requested, I'm sharing my full routine with the products that work. We will cover wash day, drying tricks, scalp loving treatments, detangling done right, the slowdown factor that no one seems to be talking about for some reason, and a bonus tip you definitely aren't doing yet. If you're new here, hi, I'm Diana with a master's in medicinal chemistry and 4 years of industry experience. I use my background to bring you the real science behind everyday beauty products, and I help you make sense of the controversies without social media drama. If this sounds like you, then come on over and subscribe and let's get started. So first, my pre-wash routine is easy peasy. I prep my scalp with a DIY rosemary and castor oil blend. Remember, essential oils are strong and they may irritate your skin above 3%, so make sure that you always mix it with a carrier oil. I mix mine at home, but if you want something a bit more fuss-free, I've linked the product below in the description. Feel free to check it out. It's not sponsored, just if you want something that's a bit easier. You only have to massage for about 10 minutes, but make sure you do it for 10 minutes. And then you leave that overnight. Next day is wash day. If you've seen my previous video, you will know that herbal washes were very popular back in the days. But now it's a bit less practical to pull nettles from the side of the road and boil them into a broth every time you want to wash your hair. So instead, I use a nettle shampoo bar. I linked a few options below, including this one. It's totally unsponsored because I won't gatekeep what actually works. I find that it doesn't foam a lot because it's sulfate free, it lasts a long time, and it's naturally fragrant. You can find others with similar formulas, but this is the type of bar that you will prefer if your scalp is more sensitive and prone to dryness. Now, a short disclaimer moment. If you've been using different shampoos over the last years with a lot of fragrance, different cleansing agents, your scalp will take a while to adjust to shampoo bar. The pH is different as well, so give it 4 or 5 washes and you will be able to tell the difference. Now, how you use it is equally important. I bring the bar directly to my scalp like here. I'm not foaming in my hands. This way the shampoo goes right where the buildup lives and I avoid coating my lengths with extra product. You do not need extra shampoo on your lengths ever. Now, one wash is never enough. You must always wash twice. Round 1 will remove dust, sweat, pollutants, whereas round 2 will actually clean in depth and prep the scalp for the rest of your routine. Next up, conditioning is easy peasy. I make my own solid bars. You don't actually need a chemistry degree for this, but I did use my lab experience to show you a safe technique and the proper tools to use so that you get the right result. Since conditioner will stay on your hair until the next wash, this is really where you want less sketchy ingredients and more nourishment. Just stay tuned until the end and I will show you exactly how to make yours. After washing, I will then use 2 to 3 towels to remove as much water out as possible and minimize frizz. You don't need fancy schmancy towels, just be gentle and let them sit on your hair with as little movement as possible to allow them to absorb water. Now that your hair is damp and not dripping, I will show you what products I leave in. First, I use a hair tonic, which will help to stimulate growth at the scalp level. The one I use is actually a gem that I bought from a monastery back home. Some of you have asked. It cannot be replicated, but instead I've linked a similar formula with clean chemicals in the description of the video. Occasionally, I swap the hair tonic for a scalp revitalizer, and surprisingly, the one from Head & Shoulders actually has the chemicals that I was looking for. So from the previous video, we've discussed how caffeine can boost blood flow to the hair follicles. And in this way, it gets more of those nutrients and the oxygen that the follicles need to grow happy and healthy. And ceramides will behave as mortar for bricks. Or think of them like the butter that holds your mac and cheese together. Now, I'll admit, it might feel like a treasure hunt to try and find fragrance-free products in your entire routine. But sometimes fragrance is added because a product has to be likable and sell, not always because the product is evil or because of the price point. And given that all the other products I've mentioned in my routine are free from artificial fragrance, I'm willing to balance this product out to get the benefits from caffeine and ceramides. After this, I always follow with a leave-in conditioner. I link this one below and you only spray on the middle length, that's it. I will then finish off with a hair dryer which I place about 15 centimeters away from my scalp. Air drying sounds healthier, but recent studies show that too much water on your scalp will actually mess up the cell membrane complex. This is a structure that is crucial for the proper functioning of your scalp cells. Next up, I'll share with you my daily oil and detangle combo. Picture your hair cuticle like the protective coat wrapped around each strand of hair. When that beautiful coat stays smooth and sealed, moisture will stay in and your hair is strong. But when the ends dry out, the cuticle lifts and the dryness starts creeping upwards, which will lead to slower visible growth because your hair keeps snapping at the bottom. So I give my ends 2 to 3 drops of castor oil warmed between my fingertips, gently pressed into the very tips. This little ritual will help to keep the cuticles lying flat as long as you're consistent. Now for the curly and wavy babes, gather close because I will unteach you some things now. Very defined curls give more tangles, which means more breakage. That's why I do the wild thing and I untangle my hair every day. I use detanglers and my own fingers. I never use a brush. Now, you won't get the goddess curls every single day, but your hair will be wavy, nourished, and happy. Remember, this video is for hair growth and that's what I'm giving you. Detangling has to be gentle in thin strands. If it doesn't take you at least 15 minutes a day, you are being too harsh. Now, occasionally I style the extra mile and I use a curly hair mousse, but only when there's a wedding or birthday party. And then I wash it the next day. You don't need any product buildup in your hair. Now, next up is my bonus tip. I'm guessing you wash pillowcases twice a week, face towels every 2 days, but what touches your hair every single day? You guessed it, it's scrunchies. Why ignore what ties your hair up? Scrunchies need a bath too, twice a week, and then you air dry them. And if you're still using hair bands that rip your soul out one strand at a time, what are you even doing? Okay, enough scrunchy talk. Now it's time to speak a little bit about the slow down factor, which is really the hardest bit about hair growth. No one really talks about how much stress can affect your hair. I mean, we know in theory that cortisol spikes, they can trigger your hair to go from the anagen phase when it's growing into the telogen phase when it's resting, and then you lose more hair all at once. I've talked about this in the previous video. Now, I'm going to put here a picture of what I looked like in February this year. I was at a very, very stressful time. The wedding planning was really hectic, I was getting homesick, and I decided to change career paths, which was probably the hardest bit. It has really shown me what happens inside when you see your hair is thinning, it's not growing, you have patches, you're hiding them, thinking that different haircuts are really gonna cut it. You buy more gummies, you buy more hair growth shampoos, serums, you bombard it left and right with any tools that you don't actually know if they're gonna work, because what you're actually lacking is balance in your everyday life. We like to idolize hustle mode. We need to have a job and a side hustle and a bit extra on the side. We need to invest, we need to save, we need to do all of these life projects, and all of them magically seem to have a deadline. Absolutely no one imposed this deadline on us, but somehow the deadline has to be very similar for all of these things. Like, it's impossible and it is suffocating, and yeah, you can't exactly live that way. You have to take a breath or multiple, and you have to slow down. If anything, that's the one, like the biggest factor that has changed my hair. I was not going to gatekeep it, so it doesn't work that way. The slowing down factor is so important, so important. I hope this resonates with some of you. And now a minute on nutrition. In my previous video, I pointed out the hair supplement that really boosted my personal hair game. I've linked the video for you above, where you will also find the hairstyles that keep your hair happy and healthy and where it belongs, on your head. Now, let me know in the comments below if you're trying any of these steps. Share your progress with me, and remember, you have to give your hair time because patience grows inches. Finally, if you want to see exactly how I make my conditioner bar, I put the link right here for you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and hope I see you next time.